Jack Daniels at the Boxers Trainers Channel. Pleased to be here and welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's another beautiful day. It is actually so called Easter Sunday. Now, I attached a so called to the Easter Sunday, right? I mean, there is a lot of questions in regards to Easter Sunday, actually, in regards to Easter period, right? So, there's nothing that I know of, and let me say this. I came up in a religious family, right? My mother, may she rest in peace, was an ordained minister. Her whole existence was predicated on her belief in God, right? Hey, a wonderful thing, right? You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing that you, as an individual, right, believe in the higher structure of the creation, right? That you believe that you was placed here by um, a God, if you will, or a Allah, or whatever the case may be, which in that you believe in that religion, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But there are certain things when it comes to such things as Easter Sunday and other things that are associated with the birth of Christ, right? That there is nothing in the Bible that directly points to those things that have transpired, right? So let me just say, in all fairness, to intelligence and to religion, right? That Easter is not something that I um, believe in, right? And I say that as stated because there is no evidence to support the fact that uh, Jesus Christ arose on Easter Sunday. None. On this day, there's nothing in the Bible that indicates that Jesus Christ rose on this particular day. Now, if in the event that someone out there in the chat believes that that is not true, hey, I implore you to bring that to my attention. Because in my, what, almost a century on the planet Earth, I have had an opportunity to read the Bible, read the Quran, right? And you know what I'm saying? And the Hadiths, all of it. And there is nothing again that indicates that Jesus Christ was born on this Sunday, this date, right? That represents Easter Sunday. Now, not to say that we shouldn't believe in a higher being, because we should, but be correct in what you believe in, right? Do not let somebody tell you that something is this that they cannot prove it. Show me the proof. You know what I mean? Show me the proof, and I will definitely, definitively, if it is satisfactory to my intellect, right? I will change my position. But until y'all can show me that God was born, or excuse me, Jesus Christ was born on this day, which is called Easter Sunday, right? I got to maintain my intellectual belief system. I got to rely on that which I know to be truth and that which I know to be untrue, right? That being said, look, I had the opportunity to um, take notice to something. Shout out to the chat. Okay, here you go. Uh, Raymond Albright, right? This is when it came out of the cave, move the rock, and walk out after the 3 days of death. Okay, now, um, and that says what? I mean, could you possibly give me a little more information on how that applies to Jesus Christ rose from his death this day, this Sunday, um, and it was then named Easter Sunday? Could you help me out with that? I, I mean, I need something definitive. Me, person, as an intellect, I need something definitive. But um, I appreciate the comment in the chat, and thanks for the comment. But I need a little more. Uh, Raymond Albright, nothing personal, right? And I hope that something definitive comes up when it comes to the notion that Jesus Christ arose on this day Sunday. Now, I know for a fact, and I'm going to show you why, that Shaki Foster, the 135-pound interim WBC champion, right, had experience with uh, the great one. Shout out to Sabrina Walkerson. Shout out to you, sister. Appreciate you in the chat. So I have information that Shakur Stevenson was in the ring with Oshaki Foster, right? The again WBC interim champion, right? And from all indication from that encounter with Oshaki and Shakur Stevenson, right? Shakur Stevenson, it is alleged by Oshaki Foster that all these conversations about the greatness and all that, right? Now, this is not me saying this. This is Oshaki saying this, right? Shakur, Shakur Stevenson isn't all that, right? All the stuff that he's saying, right, it's fabricated. As far as Oshaki Foster's concerned, right? And I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But I'm trying to set this up for maybe an embarrassing moment for uh, Shakur Stevenson, right? Because I have went on the record myself and said I believe that Shakur Stevenson has blown himself up to be something that he's not, in the sense that um, he's one of the greatest champions of this era. I mean, that doesn't sit well with me, because in order for you to be considered as one of the great ones in this era or otherwise, right, you have to be one of those boxers, right, that take on all challenges. You ain't ducking nobody, right? You know, say everybody that calls your name, hey, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? That is what I call those selected few boxers, right? There's some fighters, but boxers specifically, right, that arise to the occasion that should be noted as great or potentially great. Shout out to Bruce Gaz, boxing, jazz, and more. My brother, how you feeling today, right? Shout out to Bruce, right? Look, but Shakur has led y'all to believe, right? Based on the fact, primarily, I have to give him credit for this though. Shakur Stevenson has been noted, or is noted, should I say, as a former four, no, three different division world champion, right? And now becoming the junior welterweight champion of the world under the synopsis of the WBO and the Ring Magazine champion of the world, right? He is now a four division world champion, right? Now, that's not to say that he doesn't deserve the right to be called great. He does. But the only problem I have with Shakur Stevens is, and I know for a fact that multiple people in those divisions or up or below, right, that could possibly make the weight on both sides of the table, Shakur Stevenson versus the other guys that's been calling him out, right? And he doesn't want to fight. You cannot say in one breath that you're great or you seeking greatness, right? When you don't rise to the occasion and take on the challenges. Every one. I don't give a dang who. I don't care who they are. Right? If a person calls you out, bust him up. Bust him up because you are that great. Right? You're putting in the necessary work to become that great. Where you're gonna get in the ring, you're gonna bust him up. Right? You're not gonna say, man. I've heard him go into detail about get somebody called him out and he said got furious, right, and told them to get on his you know what, right, and I don't even know who you are. Stop using my name. Stop, that type of thing, right? That is not to me the actions of a great champion. A great champion would have respectfully said, "Look, man, you know what I'm saying? You think you can beat me, right? Uh, have your manager get with my manager and let's do this. Nothing more, nothing less. That is the attitude of a great champion. I know when I fought man, you know what I'm saying? I didn't turn it. Was a couple of times, I will admit, it was a couple of times that I did have a little reluctance to get in this ring because I watched this dude was good, right? But that didn't change the fact that I believed in myself and I got my butt up in the ring, right? And did my thing. Right. But I'm saying these dudes today, such as the Shakur Stevenson, they don't carry that type of attitude, right? They don't have that type of swag, right? So for me to hear Shakur Stevenson say that he believes that he's one of the greatest of this era, I say, man, I got problems with that. And if y'all don't, you know what I'm saying, that's on y'all. And I have to resort to what the great one said. The Mayweather, God, my boy too. I love that boy because he could box too, and he was a hell of a trainer. Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s uncle. Yeah. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It was on the tip of my tongue. Floyd. Roger. You know what I'm saying? I have to reference what Roger said about people don't understand the intricate nature of a champion being and riding up under the rails of what the expectation of a champion is. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevens doesn't ride up under that rail, in my opinion. Right? I'm going to share this with you, so you'll know. So you'll know that I'm just not saying these things and not having uh, any tape, any receipts. This is for educational purposes only. Let me roll this back. I'm going to start. I want y'all to hear it. Whole ass second coming to Floyd. But everybody around him, he know in his mind what happened in the gym with me and him several times. Hold up. And what do you, cause you said that on Twitter too. But when you saying what happened in the gym, you just saying like belt the ass and sparring? Is that man? It was a time where why you think he moved to Houston? He wasn't staying in Houston. They was doing their camp somewhere else. That summer he was fighting. What's the guy in the bubble he fought? He stopped him with the body shot. He came to see me before that. Literally, bro. We were sparring every day. I was going to the clubs. I was out there all night. Fast forward, bro, that heat got on his ass. So you know it's hot down here. That humidity get hot. Belt to ass. He got ran out the gym. And this was a Friday. They was ran out the gym is crazy, Shock. I ain't gonna lie. He ran out the ring. He didn't want no more. I was putting it on him that day. He do like smoke. I can say that. The next day they were supposed to fly. He called me. We get another session in. You know, you want his slick back. Like I try to get it back. And even when people come in, they laughing, joking about it. They like, man, put it on. He couldn't sleep. You know what I mean? And it's like, I didn't take it no way. He was trying to come with pressure. He did. He tried. He packed pay on the FaceTime. Because I guess he couldn't be there in person while we sparring. Yeah. First 4 rounds, it went the same way, tit for tat, and then it went back to the same. You know what I mean? The same old. You know what I mean? Hey, you heard it. You heard it. You heard it on the Boxing Trainers channel. That was O'Shaquie Foster talking about his day in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, right? Now, look, y'all probably have never heard of that tape, right? If I didn't do what I do, I wouldn't probably have read across it, right? But and look, and that wasn't the only tape that said basically the same thing, right? And here's the thing: I know if I saw that tape, Shakur Stevenson saw that tape, and so Shakur Stevenson didn't rebut that at all. So here's the thing: if you don't rebut something, it is as though it really happened. That's the way the rule of especially journalism is, right? If you don't rebut what somebody said, the facts become clear that that did happen. You know what I mean? So my thing again for all y'all out there in the chat, in the world that's believing that Shakur Stevenson, the former 3 division world champion, and now the 4th division world champion, right, is the greatest champion in this era. That's bullcrap. And I'll keep piling on because until Shakur Stevenson comes down to reality, right, and start acting like he is supposed to be as a fighter or a boxer, right, that has established the respect necessary to be able to say I'm the greatest, one of the greatest. No, I'm the greatest in this generation, right? Until then, I'm gonna pile on, right? Because what I feel is that Shakur Stevenson is a disrespect to the sport, right? Look, I'm hoping that Shakur gets the message. Stop saying that, or or for those that have a nice record, an appealing record, right? That call you out, man. Do what you're supposed to do. Do what every champion before you did. Run to that smoke. No, run to that smoke. You know what I'm saying? And look, that's what it's about, man. With boxing, with me and any other true professional, right? True athlete, right? You run to the smoke. You know what I'm saying? And look, hey, this has been, this is off topic, and it's kind of like not boxing, right? But it's sports, right? And I gotta say this because I'm really, really, really kind of like really feeling bad about this. The Golden State Warriors, right, once had one of the greatest um forwards in the game. He may be even the greatest forward in the game, right? Um, what is this fool's name? Not no, I'm not talking about the forward that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fool that ran him off the team. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to recoup with this because this is very important. I got to get this off my chest. But I didn't really stop and write all the information down, but I'm gonna do that because it's eating in my heart, right? Um, Ke- sometimes, sometimes heart to heart. Thank you for joining the chat, heart to heart. Yeah, sometimes that does happen. That comes with age. Kevin Garnett, not Kevin Garnett. No, uh, ah, I will get back to that. I promise you. But anyway, I guess that's what I get for crossing topics. But I think I made my case that it's not really. There you go. Who is that? Joseph P. Joseph P3ZP. Shout out to Joseph P3Z6P. Shout out to you, brother. Kevin Durant, right? Now, what is the other idiot's name? The Golden State Warriors um, power forward now. The Golden State Warrior. That's my man, heart to heart. Uh, there you go. Who is this? Who is this cat? Heart to heart, you sharp, brother. Look, I can resurrect a claim, and I'm giving a shout out to heart, right? Look, I gotta say this, man, because it's been eating at my soul. I'm from California, from Oakland, California, basically, right? And this is what was during the time that the Golden State Warriors was making run after run for championships, right? I'm talking about back to back to back to back. Then they came up with Kevin Durant, right? One of the most prolific basketball players in the league. I'm talking about today, right? He will go down in history as being one of the greatest, right? I think Kevin is a power forward, right? Although he's a little small, right? But you know what I'm saying? I think his shooting and his height mandates he has to be a power forward or center. But he can't get in it. He's a 7 footer, but he just doesn't have the weight necessary to be a viable candidate for a center, right? But here's the thing: that man, Kevin Durant, loved the Golden State Warriors, right? And actually, they pulled Kevin Durant from his team because Kevin Durant was hell bent on getting a championship ring. He couldn't get from the team he was on, and he had been, I think, maybe 2 or 3 teams, right? And he was getting frustrated, right? So Golden State Warriors was in that championship mode, right? So they somehow manipulated the system and got Kevin Durant. Oh wow, it was a beautiful thing, right? Oh man, they made that. Oh man, it was. And look, why isn't Kevin Durant still with the Golden State Warriors? Right? He let me say this. He loved the Bay Area. He loved Oakland, California, right? Kevin Durant has a home up in the hills of Oakland, California. You know what I'm saying? He never sold that property. He still owns that property because he had a love for the Bay Area, right? So here's the thing that just torments me, right? It's that idiot, right? And I'm saying this because it's true. That idiot, Draymond Green, right? For whatever reason, he did this. It was just blatantly stupid, retarded. I mean, it was just some of the stuff that you see him doing today, right? And I don't know why in the hell the Golden State Warriors, the owners, right, put up with Draymond Green, right? Power forward that he is. He can play some ball, but he does some of the stupidest stuff on the court, right? That a lot of it has something to do with putting the Warriors in bad situations in the win column, right? From the stuff that he does. Why didn't they get rid of him instead of letting Kevin Durant go, right? My thing today is to make sure the world, and I hope Kevin Durant hears this. I really do. I really hope Kevin Durant gets his tape. I am officially, officially apologize to Kevin Durant for uh, Draymond Green putting him in the position where he packed his bags and left Golden State Warriors primarily because of some nonsense that uh, Draymond Green had said to him and obviously continued to pester him about whatever. I don't give a damn what it was. It wasn't sports related. You know what I mean? It was personal. And Kevin Durant was the type of dude that he was about the business, about the sport, right? That nonsense he didn't have, and he proved that he didn't have any time for it because he left. He left. Could you imagine if Kevin Durant would have stayed with Golden State Warriors to date, where they would be at? How many more rings they would have under their belt? Shout out to Kevin Durant, brother. I love you. You're a good man. You got a good heart, man. And I hope like hell that you get the opportunity to hear this tape, right? Because I mean what I'm saying for the heart, brother. Right? You're a good man, right? And I just hate that that happened to you. You love the Bay Area. You should have, you know what I'm saying, found a way to get around that nut. Or excuse me, or push him out. You know what I mean? So that being said, man, look, it was a good day for boxing yesterday, right? Um Tim Z- Tim Zoo did his thing, but I just don't think that Tim Zoo has a snowball chance in hell of beating Errol Spence Jr. I don't think it's gonna happen. Now, Tim Zoo does have skills, but I just don't think that he's going to be able to withstand that power the way that Errol Spence Jr. delivers his power shots. Right, he's a monster. He's a dog when it comes to beating somebody down. I just don't think Tim Zoo is capable of defending against Earl Spence Jr. I want y'all to think about that. Hart, you still out there? Wait a minute, heart to heart. What you mean? What you mean, man? That boy can't beat Shakur, man. Laugh out loud. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. But that wasn't the point, brother. That wasn't the point. The point was that Shakur should have took the challenge, man. That's my thing. You know what I mean? I would have took the challenge. What about you? heart to heart. Would you have took the challenge? You was a so-called superstar boxer. Would you have took the challenge? I would have took the challenge, man. I would have took the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what great champions do. Look at hey, you got me reflecting on my boy. That's what Devin Haney do, man. He don't give a darn who it is. You know what I'm saying? And he going up and down to get that booty. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality of a great champion. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevens is good. He has the vocabulary to be great, right? He needs to just shut his mouth and put in the work necessary to be up there with the great ones. Because at the stance today, no, he's not. He's not. He's not. That is hilarious. But hey. Well, that ain't true though, man. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Shout out to the chat, right? Cajun Chris said, "Come on, we know it's a challenge just for you to get out of the bed." That is hilarious, right? But it's not true. You know what I'm saying? But it's feasible for people of my age to be in that position, but I'm just not one of them, man. I get up every day with my putting my foot on the ground and getting ready to grind. Not just in this, you know what I'm saying, in life. I grind every day, man. You know what I'm saying? You got me effed up. Nah, I ain't the one that you should be saying that to. You got a grandpa? You got a grandpa? Maybe, just maybe you need to be deferring it to him. Because me, yeah, mm, mm. Wow. Bam, you hear that? Bam, pow. Man, look, that was a fabrication, Cage and Chris. But thank you, brother. Although I don't believe in Chris, although I appreciate the gesture. Happy Easter. I appreciate the gesture, and I'm not going to say anything in the negative about it because, but I'm just going to say it so you won't think that I'm being a butt, right? I don't really believe in Easter. I don't really believe in holidays, really, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna justify why that is primarily, right? Because I'm Muslim, right? You know what I'm saying? And the tradition of a Muslim is we don't believe in holidays, right? And then let me give you a little briefing on it. Why, right? Majority of these holidays, I mean, who who benefits from them? Think about that. Who benefits from holidays? Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Easter. Who benefits? The consumers don't. Do I need to say more? The consumers don't benefit from any of these holidays. The people that sell goods and services benefit from these holidays. And I mean mammothly, hugely, right? I mean, we spend billions of dollars on these holidays. We do. So you're not the beneficiary of these holidays. The people in business that sell goods and services are. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but that's the truth. That's the reality of as far as a political issue is concerned. Of holidays, man. That's what they was constructed for. To chisel you out your dollars. Anyway, man, it's a beautiful day, and I'm happy to be here. Even though Cajun Chris said it's a channel for you to get, that was laughable. Sometimes I wish it was like that, but it ain't like that, man. I got work to do. Anyway, man, look, I gotta go. They got boxing. They got the queen on today, right? Caroline DeVoice, right, is fighting Terry Harper today. So I gotta stood up for that. I already did the backdrop on her presence today, right? But let me see what she do in the ring today. We decide whether we're gonna post that on the show. That being said, hit that subscription button, hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, and let me know if y'all think that it's a challenge for the Boxing Trainers Channel to get out to bed every day. That being said, hey, I love y'all. Keep supporting the channel and share the channel with your friends and relatives so we can grow and inspire greatness. Greatness. I'm gonna speak greatness because I'm searching for greatness. Not like Shakur Stevenson. That being said, hey, I gotta go.